Oh, yep. Yep, guess who? I'm back again. Like the proverbial you know what, ain't I? Anyway, this time I want to show this little beauty. Right, this you may probably recognise. Used to be in a little case like this. Yeah, and these are selling pretty cheap on internet. A good little radio, really. There has been a firmware update for it, which I've done to this one, and you can see it's, if you've got the original, you can see this one is got a different layout to the original. They've also done away with chuffing on the tuning, you know, so that stops it muting the amp every time you tune, so that's good. And yeah, it's got a nice S meter on there now, and also what I've done on mine, I've normally the menu is incorporated with the tuning, you know, you push it to do the menu. I just put a separate push button on mine. I just find it better, really, and just use the main tune, you know, knob for turning up the volume or the tuning or whatever. But on the menu now, if I just press that, there's no time limit on it. It doesn't suddenly go off the screen, so you don't have to panic now. And it also well, it does go off, but it's longer anyway now. Also, it defaults to volume, so you just click it and go straight to volume. So it's quite handy, you know, if you're using this to turn the volume up and down. But me being me, I'll put a little volume control on it, as you can see there, dinky little one. If I'll just turn that on, you see it's got plenty of volume, and I just find it easier with a normal volume control than having to keep, you know, doing the menu and then turning that. So that's what I've done. But this 3D printed case was done by my younger son. He's done a really good job of it. I'll just show you around it. And it's done bespoke, so I just gave him all the dimensions I wanted. I put a decent sized speaker in there, 4-inch. I think it's 4-inch anyway, but pretty big. And then on the back, there's a few switches, and that knob is the old volume control. I used to have it on the back, but I thought it's a bit of a pain, even doing it with a separate volume control, keep going on the back of it. So I could take that out, really, but I've left it in there. It's not wired up now. But as I say, I just put my own little one on there, which is a little tiny, like a preset potentiometer out of a radio and or TV, I can't remember now. And I had to make up some bits inside to you know, fit to the shaft and that. But anyway, it all works all right, as you can see. And on the back also I'll put a phono socket for the antenna, because I use all phonos on my receivers. That just plugs into my HF socket there, which is switched from my switch panel here. As you can see, I'm on I should be on that one, on bench, and that switches through to that socket, which is comes from my G5RV. But anyway, I digress there. So on the back here, I put my own charging socket on there, and what I've used, if I can find it, what do I do with it? Oh no, let me just grab it. I'll show you what I've done. Right, yeah, I've got these little radio controlled helicopters which all have lithium batteries in them, you know, 3.7 volt single cell. And this is one of the chargers for them. So the charger's built into the USB plug there. So I just used one of those leads. I chopped the plug off the end that used to go into the helicopter, and just put a normal DC type plug on there, you know, with the socket and the outer barrel, and then the mating one on the receiver. And what I've done with a two-way switch, if I put it down, turns the disconnects the battery from the radio and puts it through to this socket so I can charge it. And then when I finish charging, I just flick the switch back up. That puts the radio back on, and Bob's your uncle. Now these two here, I was going to put a double pole changeover switch on, but I ain't got one, so put two single ones on. That's why there's two on there, but one of them switches a little amplifier on and off, which is inside here, which runs from a little PP3 battery, and it uses very small current, so it lasts for ages anyway. So that one of them turns the amp on and off. You can hear that clonking on. And the other one turns the little radio inside on and off. So yeah, if I show you, right, that's off now. So click the radio one on. On comes the radio. Yep, there it is. Then turn the other one on. That's the amp. Then turn the volume. So you can turn the amp off on the back if you want to. And you've got the volume there, and your menu button there. So it's all quite nice and convenient really now. And also I put a little stand on it, and this actually collapses down, so you can have it flat, so it just sits on the rubber feet. I put 4 little rubber feet on the case, so it just sits like that. Or you can awkward with one hand trying to just click that back up, and there you go, on an angle. So I was going to demonstrate receiving, but it's really naff at the moment. I think we've had a lot of sunspot activity, and the bands are all sort of dead really. Even the higher bands are not very good on shortwave broadcasts really. So I won't bother trying to tune anything on it, but it does work well. As you know, these cover long, medium, shortwave, which is AM, upper and lower sideband, and FMs. It does FM stereo and RDS. I think the name of the station comes up on the screen there. So yeah, good little radio for about 20 odd pounds. I think about 22 pounds they cost in the little case like that. But this is what you can do with it. You see, if you've got a 3D printer, I suppose, and the technical know-how. The little lamp I use is I've used it in a lot of my radios. You can buy them on eBay. It's about £3. It's an LM386 op amp on there. And it's a little board. It's got connections on one end for the input and the power, then a little chock block on the other end for the output, which can go to the speaker, which obviously goes to the speaker in here, and the input comes from the output of this radio, which is, because this used to have it has a little speaker in here, a little speaker in the when they come, and they're not bad, not that loud, but they do work quite well. But it doesn't actually contain an amplifier in this little radio. That speaker is driven straight off the 41732 chip, or whatever it's called. I think that's the number of it. So there's not a lot of output. And if you plug headphones into this, because it's got a headphone socket on the end, you have to have it quite turned up quite a bit to drive your headphones even, you know. But anyway, this output of this, I just fed into one of these little amps in here, and that runs off a 9-volt battery, as I say. And there's loads of volume. I mean, you can imagine if there was a station on there, it'd be blasting out, you know. What I've done, I've set the volume on the radio to a certain, it's on 19 there, look, yeah. That goes up to 64. But I just set it at 19 and then adjusted the little amp inside. It's got a little preset pot on it. Adjusted that to just get it like a comfortable level, really, you know, where you can blast it up. So yeah, so there you go. So that's my little project I've just been doing the last few days. And I've got the knob off. That's off an old one of these old radios, like you know, this sort of thing, really. Not those, but similar sort of radio, but had big knob on it like that. So and that was silver in the middle, but it was all rough and mucky. So I made a black disc up out of cardboard. So it's a black card that my good lady wife gave me, and cut it round and glued it in there, and it looks a lot better now. And that's got, and the encoder I put on here, I took the encoder off the board, the original one that was on this little radio. I took that off so I could get that display panel fitted right close to the front panel, you know. And I put my own encoder on. So I got some here, and what I've done, I took the little clicky bit out of it, so it's just smooth tuning now. But you can see it tunes all right. So you've got nice smooth tuning. And there's no real chuff there, you know, not really noticeable chuff anyway. So yeah, it's made a good little radio, really. Yeah, so there you go. Quite a bit in this little video, but just thought I'd show you what I've been at and what you can do, really, innit? My son, you know, he's good on the 3D printer, and I gave him all the dimensions for the this case I wanted, and the cutout, you know, for the display. And it's got a recess bit in the back, so the display sits in a recess so it don't move about. And he printed all that and everything, you know, worked it all out and on the CAD thing, you know, on the computer, and done it really good. So yeah, top marks to my son there. Yeah, so there you go. But I love that display. It's just so nice and clear, and with the colour as well. You know, it just looks really good, I think. Anyway, right. Anyway, that's quite a long video from me, really. But you know, I will be back. You know, I've got plenty of other stuff probably that I can show you. I've been buying and selling over the last few weeks. So yeah. So once again, thanks for watching. Hope it's been of some you know, help to you, and you know, made you think, oh yeah, I could do something like that, you know. And yeah, I think that's it. And I'll be back again, I suppose, soon with another exciting and enthralling video. Keep you on the edge of your seats. Just see if there's change band, you know, just press that, go to band, then up and off. So it's quite easy to do now. But I don't think there's much about, as I say. There's normally some Chinese stations on up here. What's the time? Just gone 1:30 in there. There we go.
Powered by Israel, and it will occur just to end a stop
as you can see, they're sort of fading in and out quite bad, really.
And a moral imperative for all of us.
And you can see on the S meter it's gone to red there, where the signal strengths come up a bit. Yeah, nice little display, that, lovely. Well, that was a good little radio, really, very good. So yeah, when the bands are a bit better, I'll perhaps do another video of it with on the amateur bands and that, you know, and tuning around sideband and stuff, you know. So yeah, so there you go. Right, I'm going to disappear then. Go and get something to drink, and I'll catch you on the next exciting video. So thanks again, and so this is Kev G7ILP saying bye for now.